go, 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 and don't stop, and work harder, and work 7 days a week. Your gift is that entry point for your abundance. And your excuses, your struggles, your strengths, these things that most of us operate from fear and scarcity. And that's a big one because if you've been feeling burnt out and you have a business, or you've been thinking about starting a business, but you're not making the money that you want, or you don't even know where to begin, this is a video for you. And before I go any further and you wonder, Alexa, why should I even listen to you? You're some random girl on the internet. Well, I just want to share that I have been able to scale my business past its first 6 figures, and then it scaled past its 7 figures in real estate. I also have an Airbnb, I have my rental portfolio, and then on top of that, I have my coaching business. And my main bread and butter all began through alignment of understanding that I was here to service people. And that has allowed me to also create value in these other niches that now I see as my purpose in this life. Now, at the end of this, my goal for you is for you to be able to update your iOS, just like you update your phone, just like you go on there and, whether you're an Android user or an iPhone user, and it tells you the little pop-up that says, update your iOS. That is something that you need to be doing for you and your operating system. And I believe that a lot of the times there's gurus, whatever you want to call them, people that tell you, well, you should do this. And a lot of this is like masculine, right? Which is like, go, 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 and don't stop, and work harder, and work 7 days a week. And then you have the flip side of that, which is people that are telling you, no, you need to be soft, and all this energy of receiving. I believe that you need both. I believe you need your masculine and you need your feminine energy in order for you to do both. But most importantly, I believe that at the pinnacle of this, you need to have God as your North Star. And I know this is something that maybe some of you are going to resonate with, maybe some of you are not, and that's okay. I'm going to tell you what has worked for me, what I have seen that continues to help me scale, and my goal is that maybe you can apply it in your journey, and it's going to allow you to really live an abundant life. In some of my previous conversations, I've talked a lot about manifesting and how the energy you put out is the energy you get back, and I really want to start making a series that's going to help you in more of the business approach. So in this conversation, I am going to be sharing with you some of the techniques, the overall tools that have helped me in really scaling my business and that continue to allow me to really live a life of service in alignment with the Word of God. Now, I do have my notes because, as you've been noticing, if you've been watching my videos for some time now, I usually just talk from the heart. And although I love that for me and that's amazing, some of you have mentioned, hey, well, maybe some structured outline would be best, and I am here for you. I will go ahead and structure it a little bit more. This way it's more geared around what you maybe want to hear and not just what my soul is trying to tell me to tell you. But at the same time, I will still talk from the heart because that's just who I am. I believe that God speaks through us, and sometimes we're just not willing to listen. And sometimes when we listen, we actually notice that one door closed, but there was another one already waiting for us to step in. Now, some of the current things we're going to cover today is why some of your money beliefs are actually what keeps you stuck. I'm going to go into how your purpose in life is actually the same thing that's going to help you make more profit. I'm also going to go into how you need to balance your feminine and your masculine dynamics, because a lot of us, we've just been conditioned to believe that we have to do one or the other, and we need to learn how to marry the two. I'm also going to help you understand how to create this new identity that's going to help you receive this abundance. And lastly, how the more that you service, the more that you will create of abundance. So with that, let's get to it. Now, the first thing we need to go into is your operating system. So if it's outdated, some of the things that you probably think about are that you need to trade your time for money. That is something that I grew up listening to. I saw my grandparents. Their whole journey has been, as I'm sure maybe you can relate, maybe your family also came from nothing, or there were immigrants that came from other places. Mine came from Mexico, and my great grandmother had over 18 little ones. Yes, 18. There was actually more, but some of them like passed away as soon as they were born. So it's crazy the amount of trauma that they came from, and they believe that, again, you trade your time and you get money. And that was the operating system that I had for the longest time. The more that I work, the more that I will make. That is not necessarily in alignment, because what you want to now install is the more value that you create for the market, the more that you will see a return when it comes to financials, okay? When it comes to the money that you're going to be seeing in your bank account. And I'll get into that a little bit more as we go on the video. Now, another thing is that most of us have been conditioned to seek approval. And I know I'm guilty on that one because of how I was raised. I believe that I need to people please, that I need everybody to like me, and that I need people to agree with what I'm saying. And if they don't agree with what I'm saying, that maybe I'm a bad person, or maybe they're perceiving me a certain way. I had to let go of a lot of those beliefs because I wasn't serving the people that I was called to serve. And most importantly, I wasn't serving myself. I wasn't being true with myself. And this is the part that I really have seen some of the biggest changes in my life come from, because I have been lethal when it comes to my boundaries. And I'll give you some examples of those as well as we go on. Now, another thing is that most of us operate from fear and scarcity. And that's a big one, because if you have this mindset of, I want to start a business, Alexa, but I have no money. Alexa, I want to start a business, but I feel like right now I have no time. Well, these are all beliefs. These are beliefs that you're holding on to. And when you have these beliefs, it makes it harder for you to actually achieve the thing that God has called you for. And I'm going to give you an example here because it is so fresh on my mind. This morning, I was at the gym. And to make the long story short, one of the people there, I won't get into details about it because then I'm going to basically, I don't know if they'll ever see this video and I don't want to be rude, but this person that will remain anonymous essentially had a mindset geared around that if this person decides to step down from their business and go into more of a CEO, right, managing the business versus a manager managing everything in the business, that he was going to make less money. And this is a part where I know, especially if you are an entrepreneur and you're looking to scale your business or you're starting off your business, it's very easy for some of us to believe that if we get somebody else to do some of the things that we typically do, that we're losing control of our business. But that is geared in scarcity. That is geared around lack. And why is this so detrimental to you is because if you don't have a mindset of systems, of inputting the right people where they're supposed to be, or being more geared around AI and new techniques that you can incorporate in your business. And I know some of you guys don't like AI, and that's okay. I just believe that at one point, people believed that the internet was evil. At one point, people believed that the internet was the worst thing that was going to happen to the human race. But if used correctly, it has been one of the best blessings in my life. I never had the opportunity of having such talented individuals on my screen, like literally on my screen, where I can learn from some of the people that I follow, Tony Robbins, Napoleon Hill, all these great creators that I know I can literally go and actually see some of the things that they said back in the day, or that they're still, currently saying. That is the power of the internet. But of course, there's a lot of people that, just like there's good things that could be used for good, they could also use them for bad things. And this is where I want you to understand that it's our perception of things that actually makes them good or bad. If we are inclined to always focus on everything that's happening, that's negative in our life, in our business, in our society, that is the energy we're constantly going to operate from. And I've shared this, and I do have a Bible quote here that I'm going to read to you, because I do believe that it ties into everything that we're talking about. But when you are constantly focusing on scarcity, and science is catching up to everything that the Word of God has said, because it says the energy that we have, that we carry, is literally acting as a magnetic field around us. Therefore, it's like trying to tap into a certain station with the intention of listening to country, but the station was actually playing hip hop. It's not going to give you the output that you want. Now, in Romans 12:2, it says, be transformed by renewing your mind. So how is this relevant to your business and why should you care about it? Well, because if you have an outdated system geared around everything that I just talked about, instead of seeing how can I provide value to the market? How can I be of service to the market? How can I build long-term value? How can I act with integrity and purpose? When you change your mindset to these things, that is where people will see that you are not just somebody that's trying to take from them, but you're somebody that's trying to give to them. And I've seen it in my business. I have been in situations where people are interviewing different, whether it's an agent and they were comparing me, or another brokerage and they were comparing our team. I've seen it where they've chosen us because, and I literally have heard it thousands of times, where they tell me, Alexa, I chose you because I didn't feel pushed by you and I felt like you genuinely cared. That is the difference between somebody that is selling something to somebody and just pushing them and forcing them to do something and just showing them that that thing is valuable. You see, I like to buy things. I love to buy things. And I also love to be sold things that are in alignment with what I want. If I'm looking to get more toned and I'm looking for a better overall trainer, I am willing to pay that trainer what she deserves. However, I need to make sure that I'm getting a return on that value. If this trainer is not giving me the value that I deserve, chances are I'm going to fulfill my commitment with them and then I'm going to leave. Why? Because the value simply isn't there. Now, this next part is really crucial, because maybe the reason why your business isn't performing in the way that you would like for your business to perform is because you're not using the gift that God gave you. And I am going to share an example because I believe that's the way that most of us learn. But let's say I want to be an artist, right? And I want to create artwork. If that is something that I genuinely know that I can do, right? But if God has a different purpose for my path, no matter the fact that I can do this thing, that doesn't guarantee that that's the thing that's going to bring me abundance. Me, for instance, I love real estate. I genuinely do. It is easy for me because I enjoy it. I like talking to people. I already understand it. I know how to make videos to really incentivize people to actually come and see the stuff that we're selling. And I genuinely think that I provide value to people. However, I know that as I've grown in my journey, God has called me for a different purpose, which is why I started the movement of walking Manifestator. I wanted to teach other women how to live an abundant life. And an abundant life means very different things for different people, but I wanted them to understand that the internal story that they hold is not the same story and script that they have to continue to live. Just because of what happened to them doesn't mean it has to continue to live in your history forever. And I wanted to teach other women how to take control so that they can be abundant and live a life of abundance, whether it's to be able to pick up their kids on time, like I'm able to take the day off if they wanted to be able to travel wherever they want to have more than enough money in their savings if they wanted to stop working for 5 years, whatever it is for you that abundance means. I wanted to help you find that. So I started WM. When I talk about WM, when I coach somebody through WM, it is like fire is literally fueling me in that moment, and I do not feel like I am being depleted. However, when I do something else that has been, in this example, real estate, I notice that my energy, it does get depleted. Just like you when you go to work, right? You go to work, you go really good for maybe 8 hours, and then at the end you're kind of like, okay, I need to recharge. With WM, and I'm not saying that I could go on for days and not need to be to recharge, but I am saying that I feel like there's this fuel that God is fueling me through. And even before, like talking to somebody, making a video like this, I ask God, please guide me to be a vessel of light and share what you want me to share. This is not about me. This is about paying it forward and helping other people get to where they want to. Why is this important? Because your gift is that entry point for your abundance, and your excuses, your struggles, your strengths, these things that you've gone through or that you're currently going through, might be where your gift lies. So for me, I constantly play this little story that I am working on and it's getting better, but sometimes I tell myself I'm not the best communicator and I compare myself to somebody else that maybe is a lot better at communicating. What that is telling me is that my strength is actually in my voice, the message that I have to share with the world. And of course, your anointing is usually going to get attacked by this lower energy, whether you believe in, the devil, whether you believe in just lower energies, whatever you believe in. I believe that this lower energy is actually trying to keep you playing it small. It's trying to protect you in this little playground that doesn't really give you what God is trying to show you, which is this never-ending abundance. So when you play it small and you don't understand that these little struggles that you're going through are the thing that could actually be the multi-million-dollar idea, that is you stopping yourself from actually achieving the goal that you're called to. And this is where, and it ties into you starting your business, maybe you're doing the business, but it's not actually getting the results that you want because it's not the business for you. It's not what actually was designed for you. And maybe if it is, and you're like, no, I know it is, Alexa, I've seen it, I feel passion just like you just described, then maybe it's that you're not tapping into the abundance, the gratitude part. Because if you're always in lack, you're going to, in real estate, we basically say you have commission breath because you're so needy for that thing that you're like, do you want to buy? Should you make an offer? This is how a lot of builder reps, when I've, gone to show houses and we're going to different builders, it happens where they're so desperate for the sale that they're like, okay, well, you need to go ahead and give me the earnest money right now because if not, it's not going to be available anymore. And sometimes, yes, it's very true, and the house isn't available anymore. But at the same time, if the client is not ready in that moment, let them sit on it. This is a huge investment. So this is the difference between you being very pushy and being very needy to you being in your feminine and being able to receive and understand that you did your part. You gave the value, and you don't necessarily have to push them to do something that is not in their best interest. Now, this ties into your abundance that you're making is directly tied into how much value you're providing to the market. So when you can solve problems, when you can provide clarity and create a transformation, this is the thing that is going to allow you to get more abundance. When you can help somebody get from the place that you've been to the place that you are, that is how you get to reap what you've been sowing. And this is a part where I've noticed a lot of people sometimes, unfortunately, they think that by selling something that is invaluable, that's the thing that's going to make them more money. When in reality, it's simply going to diminish your credibility. It is going to diminish your brand because if they did buy that one time, and I've done it, I know some creators that are really big in the industry that I purchased one time and I will never buy again. And I won't sit here and say any names because they don't deserve the energy. But it saddens me. It does, because I was like, wow, thank God I had the money to invest. But there's some people that are spending their life savings thinking this is going to be the Hail Mary. This is going to be the thing that's going to help them go from this place to this place. And meanwhile, you're actually scamming them because you're not giving them the value that they deserve. This is the difference between being of service and just looking out for yourself. And when you take care of people, God will take care of you. God will give you more than enough. But I've seen it where a lot of people just don't think that this is actually sustainable. And they think, I'm just going to take as much as I possibly can. And then later, I'll get more clients. But what ends up happening, have you ever been to one of those restaurants and you're like, yep, I came here, but I will never be back? That is exactly what happens with your business. When you don't provide enough value, this is actually going to deplete your abundance because people can see, yeah, I bought one time, but it wasn't actually what they claimed. So thank you very much, but I am no longer interested. Now, this next part ties into your feminine and your masculine energy. Now, when you are in your feminine, this is where you usually get your creativity, your visions. This is where you have your alignment, your intuition, and you just know that you're receiving. When you are in your masculine, this is the execution part. This is where you have structure, where you have systems, where there's discipline, where there's consistency. That's the part of you that when you don't want to do it, you get up anyways and you do it. Because if you were just in your feminine all day, you would probably just stay and be relaxed and not take your kids to do the things that you know they have to do, or call the clients that you need to call, or go to school, or do the things that you need to do. But because you have masculine in you as well, you get up and you do it. And in our society, there's so many people that just believe that one is good, the other one is bad. We all have them. We all have both of these extremes. Now, the point here is that you need to be able to work with both of them. And especially if you're starting your business and you're feeling like, Alexa, I genuinely want my business to get to the next level. Okay, then write down what are 5 things or even 3 things that you can do right now that can help you start seeing more progress. I'll give you an example. For me with my real estate, it's actually a lot of redundancy. Like, I know that the thing that makes me money is posting content, okay? Being of value, like actually learning more so that I can be of value, not just one of those realtors that says they know what they're doing, but they don't know what they're doing. And number 3 is actually following up. And this is a big one because the following up of the business is essential. If we get leads because of the content, because of the ads, because of the marketing, I need to make sure that I either follow up myself or have a team that allows me to follow up, which I do, which is why I'm making this video right now on a Monday during regular business hours. I know that my team is having my back and the leads that are coming in are getting followed up with. As soon as I'm done, I have a listing appointment and then I can go ahead and make my calls to follow up later during the day, call them, whatever happens. This is a part that a lot of us, if we don't have the proper training, we think we could do it all. And back to the example of the guy that I was telling you about, this person believed, and he, in the eyes of society, would be considered successful. You know, he has a business, 2, if I'm being exact. And just because somebody maybe burned him at one point or said something that wasn't necessarily in alignment with what he was envisioning, maybe, again, this is a part where somebody didn't deliver value. Now he believes that running ads is a waste of money. He believes that having these certain systems are actually going to take away from the experience of the client. If that's what you believe, then that is what you're going to receive. I believe that the more systems I have in place, the more I have to actually give to my clients. It would be a disservice for me to have 100 clients right now and not have an assistant, not have a transaction coordinator, not have a marketing team. Why? Because that means that I would be the one wearing all of those hats, which means I would be giving less value to that client. Now, I know that at the beginning, we have to wear all these hats and that's okay. But this is why I say focus on 3 to 5 things that you can do that can allow you to, yes, be in your feminine and also be in your masculine in order for your business to start growing. Your life changes the moment you stop negotiating with your potential. And this is a part where success is not an accident, discipline is required, and clarity comes from movement. I've seen it in my own life where we have momentum, and because of the fact that we have momentum, we slack it. And we're like, well, I can technically put it on autopilot and the car will keep driving. It's okay. That's the soft girl talk that a lot of influencers are pushing down your throat right now. And I just want you to be very careful with that, especially if you are a woman and you are beautiful. A lot of you are being taught right now to use your looks to get you to some of the things that they are claiming they got through posting something or selling something, and then you do more research and you actually see that either one, they're actually not really doing good. Like, I've seen a lot that talk a lot about making money, and the truth is that when you do a little more research, you really see that they have nothing to show for it. Maybe they have a nice apartment and a nice car, but that's about it. And when you really look deeper, it's like, well, I want to create a legacy. At least for me, I'm not just making money for me. I want to be able to leave something for my kids. I want to be able to leave something for my great grandkids, my great grandkids. I want to create the legacy that my family maybe didn't have the tools to create, and that's okay. And this is why I believe that some of us are called to be our family's legacy setters. We are called to be the chain breakers. And I genuinely believe this. I actually just started laughing because one of one of the videos that I recently came across was basically talking about how there's this guy saying like, why is it that I have to be the one to lock in? And why is it that my family didn't lock in? And why does it all come to me? And it was funny how he was saying it. And maybe you're feeling that way. Maybe you're feeling like, man, like, why does it all come to me? Why do I have to be? Because you were chosen by God. You were chosen. That is the most beautiful blessing that you could carry. And I believe that God doesn't give you more than you can handle, just like in the negative things when it comes to God will not give you an illness that you can't, overcome, or that won't happen the way that it's meant to happen, or the person that you lost, or the situation that you lost. Whatever it is, a lot of the times our negative thoughts get the best of us when it comes to God won't give you the best, God won't give you more than you can handle. But what if we turned it around and we focus on the positive? God won't give you more than you can handle also when it comes to the blessing. Because if you're not ready to receive the blessing, how can you actually sit here and say, I'm ready, when you haven't gone to the gym, when you haven't been doing the reps? God's not going to give you 100 pounds for you to carry when you can barely do 10. He doesn't want to break you. He wants to build you up. And sometimes, yes, you're going to feel like he's breaking you, but it's only because he wants to make you stronger. But he won't give you more than you can handle. And that also comes with the blessings. So the next thing here, in order for you to really make your business get to where you need it to, is your identity shift. You cannot build wealth with the old identity that got you to where you are right now. And I know this is a hard one for a lot of us, especially because we have this connection with the identity that brought us to where we are. Like I know I did for the longest time. I came from living with my grandparents in a storage room. I had my first son, and when I had my first son, I was making like $16,000 a year. I remember at that time, I also was struggling with, substance abuse. I wasn't really where I wanted to be in life. And I remember that at that time, that identity that I held, I just started asking God without realizing that I was asking God. Because honestly, I got really separate from the word of God. And I was just like, I just need something more. I need something more. I don't know how, I don't know what, but I just want more out of life. That was the thing that led me into my first entrepreneurial experience, which was when I started selling life and health insurance. And I am so thankful for that because it taught me a lot, but I realized very quickly that the identity that took me to where I was at that point wasn't the identity that was going to get me to the point where I'm at right now. And the identity that I'm holding right now, ironically, is not the identity that I'm going to need in order for the next level. And this is why I believe that anybody can give you all the strategies. Like I can literally tell you like, hey, this is how I made my first $1 million. This is the stuff that has helped me grow. This is the stuff that has allowed me to get stocks and invest in crypto and have real estate. But ultimately, if you don't have the right mindset, nothing is going to work. Nothing is going to really get you to the point where you want to be because you already believe that the system is broken. You already believe that everything is going to come crumbling down. You already have this outdated iOS system, like we talked about earlier, and you're going to sabotage yourself. Now, the next thing here is you need to be willing to build the systems for success. I asked this to one person one time and I was like, if I got you 100 clients right now, would you be able to sustain them? Would you be able to deliver the results that they need? And the person was like, no, actually, I wouldn't be able to. I'm not prepared. I have the offer. I know what I provide of value, but no, like if I had 100 clients overnight, I would be doomed. Maybe that's why God hasn't given you more abundance. You're not ready for it. So you need to really be willing to create systems that help you. And this is why I talked earlier about building the systems that are going to help you leverage, whether it's putting a assistant in play, find a virtual one. You don't have to find an actual person that's in your office or working alongside you. You just need a virtual one. There's a bunch of amazing virtual assistants. I have virtual assistants and I love them. I love my virtual assistants. It does take some trial and error, and it is a process for you to find the right one. But when you find them, you take care of them and you keep growing. You keep growing with them. Also, the systems of AI, there's ways for you to create bots now that can help you with a lot of the fulfillment. You can also create a CRM that can help you when a lead comes in, where to put the lead, what message to follow up with, what email to go out, what retargeting they should do. There's so many things. And I know that when I talk to you guys about some of these things, maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed. Take it one step at a time. Again, go back to the 3-5. Find 3 things that you can do to 5 things that you can do on a daily basis. And maybe one of those things is learning a new tool, because that's the thing that's going to allow you to get more freedom by creating more security, by creating more value to the market. And overall, this is going to help you continue to scale your business. And the last thing here that I want to really leave you with is you need to stop waiting to feel ready. You need to stop waiting for everything to align. You need to stop waiting for the right time, for that coach that's going to teach you that next thing. And I need you to just take imperfect action, because imperfect action is the thing that's going to get you to the next step. And if I look back at some of my videos, I cringe sometimes, and I'm pretty sure that when I look back at this video, I'm gonna be like, I could have said this, I could have shared this differently, whatever it is. But I'm taking imperfect action. I'm taking my own advice, and I'm saying, you know what, God, I planned as best as I could. I shared the message from the heart. I shared as much value as I could. It's all in your hands now. This is the part where you start going from waiting for everything to be ready to you being the person that becomes ready. And that's such a mindset shift, because now you're taking accountability. Your external locus of control becomes an internal locus of control. And for those of you that don't know what that means, basically an external locus of control means that you always are looking for something to blame. Something external is happening. Something external is the one that is at fault for you not getting to the point where you wanted to get. An internal locus of control is where you actually look at yourself and you say, that sales call didn't go the way that I wanted it to, but what can I learn from that call? How can I be better on the next call? That is the difference between somebody that is always pointing the finger to somebody that is willing to hold themselves accountable and say, you know what, Alexa, I love you. We didn't do as good as we could have, but I still love you, and we're gonna try that again. Now, I want you to ask yourself these last questions, especially if you are in this journey of starting your business or wanting to scale your business. What value do you currently provide to the market? And I want you to be very honest with yourself. And maybe if that answer right now is, Alexa, I don't know what value, that is where I tell you, you really want to find a coach. This is why I started WM, because I believe that there's certain parts of your journey that maybe you feel still need a little more clarity. And that's where internal work comes into play. Join our school community. You'll find some of the resources that we have there. But overall, you do need to understand, like, what is the value that you provide? Number 2, what problems can you actually solve? Maybe it's cooking, and you at one point were very overweight, and now you are in one of the best chapters of your life. Maybe it's not where you want to go yet, but it's still a lot better than where you were. That could be a value that you provide to the market. And also, I'm feeling really called to share this. Where you start off doesn't mean that's where you're going to end. Just because I said earlier that your purpose is going to lead to profit doesn't mean that I didn't have to go through a few other things that I felt were my purpose at that time, but they weren't. But they still helped me because they've allowed me to have more clarity in the direction that I wanted to be. So find something that you know you can actually solve a problem for. Also, what skills do you need to develop in order for that to be attainable for you? How can you learn more in order for you to be able to scale this? How can you incorporate new techniques in order for your business to continue to grow? And the last thing is, what systems do you need to build in order for you to really be able to hold this abundance? I really believe that God never gives us more than we can handle. And if you are feeling inspired to start a business, this is definitely something that is going to help you. I mentioned this before, my content is changing. So if you would like a full video on how to actually maybe create some of these systems that can help you, I would be more than happy to have maybe a live event that we can do so I can actually interact with some of you guys and we can talk about it. We can talk about how these systems work, how to incorporate them, what a CRM does, how it can help you in your business. But my goal is to continue to deliver as much value as I possibly can. So if you are with me still until this point in the video, thank you so much. Thank you for being part of the community. And if nobody has told you this, remember that you are loved, that you are worthy, and that you absolutely can manifest anything that you want. I'll talk to you on the next one.